In today's video, we're going to look at the top 5 myths about lead generation in the solar and heat pump industry. There are some common misconceptions that lead to a lot of installers leaving money on the table and losing a lot of revenue because they're making key mistakes within their lead generation choices. You should learn about what those mistakes are, why they're wrong, and how you can fix them moving forwards. So we've worked with hundreds of solar and heat installers now. So in today's video, we're going to break down the top 5 misconceptions that we see from a lot of installers regarding leads and lead generation, and why, in my opinion, these beliefs are wrong, and also why these beliefs could actually be the reason why you haven't sorted out your lead generation and you waste a lot of money on poor leads or never get that consistency within your lead flow. Myth number 1 is that exclusive leads are always better than shared leads. A lot of installers come to us. If someone's getting 10 quotes, you're a lot less likely to win that job. But what matters more than how many quotes that lead is getting is the intent of that lead. A shared lead that goes to 3 or 4 installers, but someone who's ready to buy and ready to make a decision, is a much better lead than a exclusive one who is just looking for more information. That first lead is guaranteed to go ahead. They're going to choose an installer. They're just looking for the best option. Whereas that second lead might not convert at all, or if they do convert, it might take months of nurturing. So it's a lot more important for you to understand where the lead is in their buying journey rather than how many installers that lead goes to. Unless that is a very good referral from a pre-existing customer, pretty much every single lead is going to be getting at least 2 or 3 quotes anyway. To break down how you can look at intent, you can look at the sales funnel. There's the research phase, or top of the sales funnel, where someone has maybe just heard about solar or heat pumps and they are simply getting more information and understanding more about the product. Second phase is the middle of the funnel. They have gathered all the information. They're now just evaluating different options, how it would fit for their property, and whether they do want to go ahead with this in the immediate future. Third is that decision phase, or bottom of the funnel. These are leads who are ready to buy. They are just looking for the best installer, the best quote, and just really looking at the final details before they make that decision. So lower intent leads are usually in that research phase, whereas the higher intent leads are going to be in that decision phase. Regardless of whether they're getting multiple quotes, these are the leads that you want to be focusing your attention on. Myth number 2 is that if you can't get hold of leads, or if your contact rate is poor, that these are low quality leads that aren't interested. The hard truth that a lot of installers don't want to hear is if you can't reach your lead, it's not usually a lead quality issue, it's a response issue. You're not getting to them quick enough and you're not being persistent enough. So a lot of installers are in the mindset of, oh, if they're that interested in going ahead, they'll get back to me. It's this kind of passive stand back approach holds a lot of installers back, because if you're calling people 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, they might be at work, they might miss the call, forget to ring you back in the evening. By not following up again, or not calling them as soon as they submit that inquiry at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday night, you're going to be missing out on a lot of leads. There's been plenty of studies to show that leads called inside 5 minutes are up to 800% more likely to pick up the phone. Speed to lead is the number 1 thing that's going to fix your contact rate. If you are leaving it hours or days to get to leads, there is a chance that they've forgotten about your company, they've inquired with competitors, they've read something online that's made them change their mind. These are all the reasons that then affects lead quality, but all of these can be fixed if you get to your leads a lot quicker and you don't wait hours or days to get to a new inquiry. Myth number 3 is that they were just looking for information. So this is usually a coping mechanism for installers that didn't close a survey into a deal, or if they have a poor conversion rate overall, they'll just say that lead wasn't serious about buying, they were just looking for more information, and I just wasted my time speaking to them for 2 hours when they were never going to purchase. This usually boils down to one of 2 mistakes. Mistake number 1 is they didn't verify that lead properly. Before they bothered to go out and do the survey quote, they didn't speak to the customer about budgets, timelines, get an understanding of their intent. So they're just going out and being a bit of a busy fool, quoting anyone and everyone. The more common mistake usually is that the installer's sales process isn't as good as they think it is. They don't guide prospects from being interested and wanting more information through to buying solar or buying a heat pump being the natural outcome. They don't have a sales process. They've never done any sort of sales training. They spend a lot of time talking to customers about solar, about the technical aspects, but they never actually guide people into making that purchasing decision. Mistake number 1, you can look at doing lead scoring, which is something that we implement with our telesales team. Essentially, to avoid wasting time surveying or speaking to customers who aren't in a position to buy, there's 4 main things that we will look at with a lead before we book them in for a survey for clients. First is, do they have a problem to solve? Are they looking to reduce their energy bills or replace a broken heating system, whatever it might be? Second is, have you discussed budget with them? Are they comfortable with the rough price range? Third is, are they educated? Have they done a bit of research on the product, how it's going to work for their home? how the product even works. And the fourth thing is buying signals. Have they had other quotes? Have they told you they want to get it installed in the next 2 months? These things really play into being a high intent lead that's worth going out and seeing. The more time your sales team spends on the road visiting these leads rather than the ones that are just gathering information, your close rates would improve. If you added a proper sales process on top of that, where you really tailor your solution to that lead's desired outcome, you're going to be in a much better position to close those leads and not have the issue where you feel like you're getting a lot of people seeking information and asking the right questions, but never actually getting them over the line. The fourth myth that we hear a lot is that lead generation doesn't work, or Facebook ads don't work, or I'll just rely on referrals. This usually comes from installers that have tried a few things before and been burned either by agencies or lead providers. Lead generation does work. You know, your competitors spend millions of pounds combined each month advertising. There's companies like Colleagues.io sell hundreds and hundreds of leads every single month to installers that get a return on their investment from it. So it's not that lead generation doesn't work, you just haven't made it work for you yet. What you need to do is actually commit to one channel of getting leads, track all that data, and actually improve the process rather than just trying Facebook ads for a few weeks, buying a few leads here and there, not getting the results you want, and then instantly switching to something else. That is why it doesn't work for you. What you need to do is really sit down, go through what channel of lead generation is going to suit your specific situation the best right now, and make sure you really commit to testing and refining the process, because that is how you get lead generation to work. It's not just a short-term fix. Obviously, referrals are great. Those installers who are growing month after month and doing 4 or 5 installs per week or even more are the ones that make the paid channels work on top of the referrals. Myth number 5 that seems to be dying a little bit, but it's something that we still hear every now and again, is that Facebook leads are low quality. You can get a lot of low quality leads from Facebook, but it's usually when you set things up wrong. If the quality of your ads, messaging and funnel is poor, attracting the wrong type of lead, then obviously you're going to get poor lead quality. For example, if you run clickbait limited time offers or price slash offers and you let people autofill a Facebook form, that is going to lead to people who are unqualified and not the type of prospect you're looking for. You need to make sure that the messaging and the content you're putting out there reflects the type of lead you want to be speaking to. For example, if you have technical videos or images breaking down exactly what kit you're using, what problems you solve, why you're the best installation company, you then run that traffic through to a landing page with a bunch of social proof, good set of pre-qualification questions. That is a high quality marketing setup. It's going to attract higher quality leads. So what you need to look at is not that Facebook doesn't work or it's the platform's fault, but how did you or your agency or your freelancer set up the Facebook ads? Is the setup you're using going to be attracting the leads you want to be speaking to, essentially? In terms of next steps, what you can do if you're falling into the traps of kind of believing in these myths, firstly, fix your speed to lead. Make sure your response time is under 5 minutes. Make sure that you're qualifying leads better so that you're not wasting time on information seekers or low intent leads. Third thing is actually refining and investing in paid channels and getting it to work rather than jumping from one lead provider to another. And then the fourth thing is making sure that you're constantly testing and improving what you're doing. So in terms of next steps, if you are an installer that is believing in one or more of these myths, is to start taking a little bit more accountability for your lead generation and sales. A lot of these myths, you shift the blame onto Facebook or the lead's fault or the marketing agency rather than the installer actually taking responsibility for the lead generation themselves. So what you can look at doing is improving your speed to leads, your qualification processes, your sales processes, actually tracking the data of leads rather than jumping from one agency to another. When you start taking a bit more accountability, a lot of these myths that you might believe in or you might have heard within the industry suddenly start to disappear because you realize they aren't true. You're a lot more in control of your lead generation and your lead flow than you actually think. If you are an installer looking for more high quality leads and you're not happy with the consistency or the quality of what's coming through at the moment, there will be a link in the description of this video. It will take you through to a page that shows you a little bit more about what we offer and also some testimonials and reviews that you can look through. If it looks of interest, you can then go ahead and make an inquiry and we're happy to chat through exactly what we can do for your business.